so I had to stop the stream and restart my PC. But we're basically analyzing how NYXL lost to the Chengdu Hunters. NYXL are the second best team, or the second seeded team in the standings. They are 22-4, 20 wins and 4 losses, and this was their 4th loss against the Chengdu Hunters, who are 12 wins and 13 losses right now. So obviously, New York Excelsior are or were very much favoured to win this, but unfortunately, or depending on who you support, fortunately, they didn't quite manage to pull through. We're going to be taking a look at Jinwoo especially, who is an exceptionally skilled player. He, amazing Farah, amazing Doomfist. We're going to look at him. We might also check out Aiming from time to time. So basically he's taking the high ground, he's flying extremely high, and NYXL don't really have any answer to him right now. The best they can hope to do is maybe hack him with Libro's Sombra, alternatively with Diva flying up into the air and maybe trying to shoot him down that way. He's trying to go for some rockets onto the point. He knows there's a Sombra there somewhere, so he's just going to spam a bit. Spam into the point. Tries to go for the boop, but doesn't quite manage. Obviously, you've probably all already heard about Aiming. He is one of the best, if not the best, wrecking ball players in the world. In the league, definitely. Jinwoo manages to take out Jonak, who is on the Moira. I feel like Jonak shouldn't be on the Moira. He's an exceptionally skilled player, right? Probably one of the best in the world, and I mean he's one of the best in the world, and he should be playing one of the skill-based heroes. I feel like Moira or Anna or Zenyatta or Anna, one of the heroes that benefits from aim and using all of his skills that he has, and more mechanical based heroes. Whereas Moira, she doesn't really benefit as much from those things. I feel like Jonak is kind of wasting his talent by playing Moira here. But Jinwoo's just spamming rockets. He's doing pretty well here, getting a lot of damage. NYXL are very lost, it seems like, just not really knowing what to do here, and not really knowing where to go, how to prevent themselves from taking the damage from the rockets. And Jin was creating a lot of division with these rockets, so even if he's not getting the hits that he wants, he's still splitting them up a bit, because they have to avoid the rockets, right? Trying to go for the boop again. Almost has his barrage. He has his barrage now. Let's see how he chooses to use it. He's going to go through the window, maybe? No. Trying to get that Lucio. NYXL managed to kill 3 of Chengdu Hunters. Jinwoo managed to get the DMAC Diva. It's looking like it's swinging in favor of the NYXL now. Libero has his hack, and so does Yang Xiaolong, which I presume is a Chinese player. It's an interesting name, Yang Xiaolong. So we might have to refer to him as YXL, because we might not be pronouncing his name correctly. Jinwoo's just trying to get this this guy. Diva. Goes for the barrage, EMP barrage, which is a very effective combo, as they can't avoid you or use any defensive abilities. Getting a bit unlucky there with the Lucio, and he managed to escape. Aiming leaves his things on the point. Libero is trying to contest now on the point. Goes for the punch. goes for the Wrecking Ball. Another punch. What I personally would have done there is I would have thought maybe using the aerial slam would have been more effective than just going for a punch on the Hammond. So what you can do is you can walk off the map onto the pit, and as soon as you're above the pit, then you have access to that aerial slam. It gives you a bit more distance, more speed, and more unpredictability, and more damage. So it's a really effective technique to use, the aerial slam, and would have allowed him to get another point and potentially get into position to allow him to go for those rocket punch kills, the one-hit kills, which is where Doomfist excels. Now Jinwoo's gone over to the Doomfist. We're going to check him out. Doomfist is very strong on this map. So you have the central point, which is surrounded by walls. It's perfect for Doomfist. He goes with the uppercut. Managed to punch someone, I think. Doesn't quite get the main. He's just trying to build up his ult charge a little bit, getting some primary fire shots. Unfortunately, he dies here. But he does have a lot of ult charge here, 80% already, which is pretty good. And we'll see how he uses his ultimate. Does he use it aggressively, or does he use it to escape, to give him shields? Should be interesting to see. He's just going to wait for his team to loop over it. And Yang Xiaolong is trying to distract him a little bit by going on the point. Nice punch onto Mano. Manages to kill Animo. He's nanoed. Gets the Mei. Going to use his ult aggressively onto the Orisa, which is good. Very nice. Gets the Jonak with a nice primary fire aim, but unfortunately dies to Meko. But it's fine because he can get back to the point in time. And as you can see, he comes out of spawn with the rocket punch into the slam, which is a good way to get back to the point quickly. Yang Xiaolong has her EMP. Also has the self-destruct, and POV and Meko also have their ults. It'll be interesting to see how POV tries to use the Reaper ult, because I would imagine Reaper ult is very difficult to get value out of when you're playing against players that are on this level, extremely skilled. But he does manage to get to. Jinwoo manages to get the Animo. Gonna go for Rapid Punch, but misses. Doesn't get the uppercut onto the Orisa because she was fortified, and Mei blocks his ultimate with the wall, which is a good use of the wall. He's just going to try and pressure them from behind, I think. Goes for the aerial slam. He can punch Moira out of her ult here with his punch, which I think he does. But unfortunately he dies. He swaps over to the Pharah, back to the Pharah. Doesn't quite manage to connect with any of his rockets, but he's going to go low, going to play risky, which I like. Just going to try and fire into the point from the balcony thing. Nice, gets Jonak, gets the mini diva, and oops, Animo off. Really nice. This guy is such an incredible player. Him and Aiming, really good. Yang Xiaolong managed to take 3 and still has her EMP, so being very patient, not using it unnecessarily. Jinwoo also almost has Barrage. We'll see how he tries to use it again. NYXL are just trying to find a way to get onto the point without taking too much damage. It's very difficult though. They can't really deal with the Pharah. It's gonna doesn't need to use barrage just yet, so he's saving it. DMX the Diva. Uses barrage now onto the Reaper, which is good. Even though he died, he managed to take out the main threat, which was POV on the Reaper's ult, and they win the team fight. It's good, and they win the map. Just gonna spam a few rockets from this flank. And Ameng leaves his mines on the point. Just a matter of time now before they win, and they win. Nice. So from what I can see is NYXL didn't really have any answer to Jinmu on the Pharah, and they won. They lost as a result. But not just because of that, but also maybe they weren't very coordinated with grouping up, or not knowing which direction to go in order to avoid taking too much spam damage. This is Flower now subbing in for POV, which is interesting. Flower was a very reputable player, like a very had a lot of clips, very hyped up player. People were very impressed with him, but he was too young to join the Overwatch League. I think he was like 17, and this year he can finally play. He's also known for having kind of a shaky aim, which the commentators were talking about. Is that his aim kind of jitters. Some people are saying he's nervous. I feel like maybe that's just his style, that he plays that way. Probably is just his style. He's on the Sombra though, and from what I've seen, he doesn't really get anything done here. Like, I'm going to fast forward it to 2 times speed. So he uses Translocate to get into the choke, right? Translocate's back, hacks the health back, which you can do with Sombra. It's very good to hack the health packs because you only have a 2-second cooldown now, so you might as well go for it. But he's not getting much done, right? He needs to build up his ult charge, but he tries to throw the Translocate through the window, doesn't quite manage. Then try again. This time he managed to do it, gets into the back line. So this is great, right? He's in the back line, but he's taking so long to get anything done. Like, he's not shooting anyone, he's not building his ult. And Sombra is basically about building the ult, farming the ult, and that's what wins fights, is the EMP. And he's not really doing much. He's playing very patiently, which is good. But there's a line between playing so patiently that you don't get anything done, and playing patiently but also farming ult charge as well. He's probably just scouting things out for his team, telling them where people are. He knows that the Junkrat is on the left side, the Widowmaker is up on the high ground. Almost has his EMP. He managed to get the Junkrat while he was incapacitated because he was using his ult. He has EMP now, so let's see how he uses it. Doesn't quite need to use it just yet. Jinmu goes on over to the Doomfist, so we're gonna slow it back down. Doomfist is so strong on this map. You can basically hold one of these points on the high ground and camp up here, and you can act as a kind of a bodyguard. Like, Doomfist is kind of the bouncer, you can think of him as. He doesn't let unfriendly people into his castle, into his well, he's the bouncer. He's just going to look for anyone who tries to come in, and he can drop down and rock punch them. But he does need to be aware of the Sombra. The Sombra has EMP. Oh, he's going to play extremely aggressively here. He's going to push forward with his team, which is great. You can do this, but you need to coordinate this with your team. Just don't try this on ladder too much, because the team are going to be stupid and not push with you. He's in a very risky position, but managed to get back. This is a very interesting play by Chengdu Hunters, extremely aggressive. And NYXL, I think they're not expecting this. They weren't expecting this. They seem a bit lost, like they don't know what to do. He's just going to spam his primary fires a little bit, because he wants to reveal the enemy Sombra if he can. If the Sombra happens to walk through one of his shotgun spreads, then they'll know her location. He sees the eraser going through the right side. Doesn't quite manage to get a chance to capitalize on that, but he's going to go for the back line. Gets back to high ground safely. Unfortunately, dies to the Diva. Looking bad for the Chengdu Hunters now. Let's see how they manage to recover this, if they manage to recover. He waits out the Sombra EMP, which is smart. He knows that enemy Sombra's got an EMP, so he just waits it out. Misses the punch. Manages to get Libero with his primary fire. Very nice aim on his primary fire. This is the thing with Doomfist, if you can master his primary fire aim, you can get so many extra kills that you weren't getting before. Just those finishing kills. And he's going to go back to his sort of default position, like hanging around this area, the doorway, if you can call it that. And when I see this map, I kind of think of Greek mythology, like not mythology, but like the story of the Trojan horse. Kind of reminds me of that for some reason. It's like they're trying to sneak in the horse, which is the EMP, right? No, not the EMP, the Libero. They're trying to sneak in Libero, and he's the Trojan horse that they need to stop. He goes in with Rocket Punch. He can play a bit aggro because he knows he has ult. Somehow Lucio managed to survive that. I think he got matrixed. It's unfortunate. I've really loved watching Jinwoo's aggression. Like, he's extremely aggressive with Doomfist. He takes risks. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't work out. But it makes him very entertaining to watch. Jinwoo's gone over to the Mei, maybe to try and stall things out a bit. And Libero uses his ultimate. Doesn't quite manage to do anything. I don't think Jinwoo needed to use his Ice Proc there. Very well played though. Very nice defense. And now we're going to see them on attack. Jinwoo's gone over to the Genji. He's obviously a very good Genji player as well. Very talented guy. What I find is that Genji players tend to be very good Doomfist players as well. But we're going to have a look at Ameng. He's one of the best wrecking ball players in the world. Let's see what he tries to do here. Going to grapple, go straight onto the point, kind of take their attention away from the front line onto him. And he goes through the back to the health pack. He doesn't. This is what you should do with wrecking ball. Well, that was a very nice tech. He managed to get to the high ground without using grapple. He's just looking at them using his third person. This is what you can do with wrecking ball. Is you can sort of scout things out without revealing your position. And he's engaging now. Doesn't really get very much done here. He's trying to find the angle on the grapple. Unfortunately, he dies here. And Jonak has his ultimate. This is good with Jonak on Anna, because I feel like his skills will he'll benefit more from playing Anna, because she's a very skill-based hero. All of his aim and stuff, rather than playing Moira, who doesn't benefit as much. Fortunately, he walks into the Widowmaker mine, and Widow used her ult. That was really nice. He got the Anna off the high ground, so he knocked her out of position. He's just going to go around the back and get those health packs, because this is what you want to do with Wrecking Ball. Is you don't want to rely too much on your healers. You might as well just use it, because you have the speed to just go for the health packs. So you might as well. And you also deny the enemy to use the health packs. You do that. He's going to go for a nice grapple onto the high ground. He uses his mines on that high ground, probably to prevent the Widowmaker from going back up there. But let's have a look at Jinmu. Let's see what Jinmu is doing. Jinmu really popped off there. So he has his ult. He goes into the high ground, dashes on to the Widowmaker, gets her. Very nice, very clean. He's already halfway through to his next ult. It's pretty impressive. 60%, 70%. Very nice from Jinmu. Flower's gone on over to the Doomfist, so we'll have a look at that. Remember that young Shalom has her EMP, and that can very much nullify Doomfist, but he managed to avoid that by going behind the wall. So he waits it out and then he chooses to engage afterwards, but unfortunately he doesn't get very much done. I feel like he engaged with his slam. What I would have done is engage with Rocket Punch instead, because with the slam you're very susceptible to hack. And you want to go for the one shot, right? Especially in this area where you have all the walls and things. It would have been better to engage with your punch, I feel like. Then again he does it again. Like engage with the punch, the slam. And he gets cocked by his own May wall, unfortunately. Sombra uses the MP, so he knows he's safe to go in. But again, he engages with the slam, and he does manage to punch someone, but I think they slid off the wall. Unfortunate. And Chengdu Hunters win. So I don't know. I feel like I blame Flower for most of that. He wasn't really doing very much. We're going to move on to King's Row. He wasn't doing very much, and he didn't really seem to have decisiveness, you know? He needs to be more decisive. So they've replaced Flower with Nene. I feel like they should put Pine on. I just want to see some Pine. Like super aggro Widowmaker plays. They put Bacon Jack back in. And Late Young. I think Jinmu might have popped off here on the Pharah. He does go Pharah at some point. Nene is going to go over to the Reaper. So it should be interesting to see how he uses Reaper on this map. He's probably going to try and teleport over to the high ground. Orisa chucks her barrier into the air. She knows she can get a new one quickly. So he's gonna try and go for the TP. Did he mean to do that? Yeah, probably. He's gonna try and sneak up behind onto the high ground. Gets the Ana, very nice. And uses his Wraith to cross the platform to make the jump. So the extra speed. Well played. Very fast take of the point. Doom has gone over to the Mei. They're just going to let the payload move a little bit before they engage again. Sneaky Nene. I think Hanzo knows he's there, maybe. He used his wall hacks. He's sneaking behind again, very nice. But he did not have his Wraith. That might have been a bit of a mistake there. I feel like if he had waited a little bit just for his Wraith to come back off cooldown, then he could have not died there. I think he's just waiting for his team to respawn. His teleport is very strong ability now. Engage ability. Nice. He's trying to go for these flanks, but he's losing so much time by doing it. But it works pretty well, I think. But he lost so much time by going for the flank. I feel like he could have just walked straight up to them when they had the opportunity. And they don't really have any significant ults right now. They only have Mano's amplifier thing. He's just going to fire a little bit into them. It feels like, I mean, Reaper's range is very important to understand, because if you fire a little bit too far, then you basically do nothing. But he does have a little bit of range to him, his shotguns. But beyond that initial range, it's going to be very useless. So if you know the exact distance that he's still effective, it's going to help you. Libro almost has ult. Bacon, Jack and Jinwoo have their ults, and Kyo has the nano boost. So he TPs up the high ground. What does he intend to do now? Is he going to drop down? Tries to strafe to dodge the Hanzo arrows. And gets destroyed by Late Young. You would think that Reaper is a counter to Roadhog, right? Because Roadhog has a massive hitbox. But then Roadhog's shotgun, Reaper needs to get into close range to kill the Roadhog, right? But Roadhog also is very effective at close range against Reaper, because he also has a shotgun. So it's difficult. If you don't have Wraith, then it's very risky. I feel like Nene is just, I don't know, NYXL are playing very slow, which they're kind of known for. Taking their time, but it doesn't seem to be working into their favor right now. They take so much time to make these pushes. He's not really doing anything here, other than creating a distraction, which is good, but his team aren't making use of the distraction, right? But he's building his ult charge, so that's valuable at least. The only thing is Late Young now has his ult and can easily counter Reaper's ultimate by pushing him away. He's trying to find a way to get to them. This is the thing with Reaper, right? Is once you're into the fight and you're in the close range, you're super strong. But it's hard to get that initial position that puts you at an advantage. And unfortunately, he gets pulled off. The thing with Reaper is it's so hard to get into the position to get maximum value, especially with your ult. Generally, you want to drop from somewhere in high ground. You're very easy to focus down. And all this time that they've been waiting, the Chengdu Hunters have been building up their ults, right? So I'm not sure if playing this slow was a good idea. He tries to TP into them, that's good. TP behind them. They don't seem to notice him. Goes for the Ana, but she's saved by the... not quite saved actually. That was good. So he used his TP to engage, which is good. And Chengdu Hunters have Jikuren. I've never heard of this guy. Jikuren. But let's see some of that famous Jinmu power play right now. Oh, he's gone to the Hanzo, unfortunately. Oh, back to the Pharah. So he's trying to just kill that shield. Unfortunately, he gets hooked by the Roadhog, gets revived. Very risky position to go for the revive, but it works out. Jikuren gets taken out by Jonak, so they're probably going to wait to regroup a bit. This is the thing with Pharah is they know the enemy team has Widowmaker, right? So he has to play extremely carefully. He can't just go around the corner. He has to make use of that corner. And if he crosses the corner, then he needs to be extremely fast, use his boop thing. Gets rest though. That was nice. Needs to watch out for Nene. Almost has barrage ready, so he can use these buildings as cover. Very nice, gets Nene. Jonak on Anna is kind of going to try and get some shots onto him, if possible maybe. See how he uses this barrage. It's going to be very aggressive here. Pushes onto them. Very nice. That was insane. Super aggro. Hyper aggro. Libra almost has her ultimate on the Mei, but I feel like you can't really do anything against Pharah, right? So Pharah is a really good counter against Mei, and Mei's like kind of meta right now in the league, which means Pharah will also see a lot of play, because Pharah can evade almost all of Mei's slows and things, all of her crowd control. Like whenever I'm getting CC'd too much in one of my games, I just go over to the Pharah because she can avoid so much of that stuff, of the nonsense. So despite Pharah not really... Like Pharah is seen as a weak character, but she definitely has her place. And Pharah Mercy is still extremely strong. If you can find yourself a good, reliable Mercy duo, which is what I'm going to try and do, then you can really carry games. Has barrage, uses barrage. Wow. Insane. And they have way more time in the time back. So this is NYXL's push. Let's see if the Chengdu can defend this. I'm sure they can. Getting some nice crossfire from Jinmu from behind. It's gonna leave that guy sleeping. Almost has it all up. Nene managed to take Bacon Jack out. Nice defense. I think they didn't give any single tick. Jinmu's gone back on the Pharah. I feel like NYXL definitely need to practice with 2-2. They don't really know what to do. They don't know which player they should put in as well. Like they keep swapping Nene, say POV. Who was the other guy? Flower? Yeah. They need to decide on just one player to always play, rather than keep swapping all the time. And another win for the Chengdu. And this is the last and final game, Route 66. I'm gonna fast forward this a bit. He's playing very aggro, right near their spawn. Just firing some rockets. NYXL again don't really have any answer to him. extremely aggro play. Managed to get his ult almost up. But what he accomplishes by doing that is at least he stalls the payload a little bit by dying onto the payload. He has his barrage, let's see how he uses it. Extremely good positioning by him, I think. But he's creating so much distraction and just confusion, even if he doesn't land the rockets, right? He's still forcing NYXL to turn their attention away from the rest of his team. He gets hacked and then he dies to his own rocket. It's kind of the only answer to him, right? You need to hope that your Sombra can hack him. Uses barrage. He's going to Hanzo. Hanzo's kind of boring to watch, so we're going to watch Bacon Jack. Wow, that was good. That was nice. Wow, we need to see that. We need to see that again. So he gets the Sombra like some crazy headshot. Wow. Gets the monkey. Gets Jonak. Nice. Pretty insane Widow. He's actually also can play Doomfist. Like, he's not a Doomfist main, I don't think, but he definitely can swap over to the Doomfist occasionally. Libro's gone to Genji, and now he has a really nice sideline through this corridor thing. And NYXL are just trying to rotate around to avoid his line of sight. Still have this one brother. And they're all trying to focus him down. Not quite managing to. At last they managed to get him. But he gets rezzed. It's like, what do you do against a really good Widowmaker, right? You can't do much. You can, even if you all dive him, it's like nothing you can do. Take out the Widowmaker one time, and then Mercy just comes in to res them. It's a bit like Bastion. Very oppressive to play against. Very frustrating. But it's also very skill based from the Widowmaker. Like, it does take skill to deal with being dived on like that and knowing where to go. Even positioning yourself so that you know your Mercy is going to res you. You want to position yourself so that you die in a position that is easy for your Mercy to res. So you can even plan to die in a correct position. Not only your position, your alive positioning is important, but your death positioning is also important when you have Mercy with you. It's gonna play a bit more passive now, a bit more behind. And NYXL are literally at a loss as to what they should do again. POV is going to try and snipe him out. Nice try on the Orisa pull, but doesn't quite manage to get him. Bacon Jacks on the McCree. Can't quite make up his mind. Does he want to go McCree or Widow? Decides to go with the McCree. We're seeing a lot of Baptiste though, which is interesting. Gets taken out by POV. POV doesn't quite manage to get the grapple hook that he wanted to. It's very frustrating when you're playing Widow and your grapple has a mind of its own. It doesn't quite go where you want it to go. And then sometimes it does go where you aim it, and not onto the thing that you want it to aim onto. Like, it's really frustrating. I've tried to like tweak the settings and things, but I still get this unintended grapple thing. That was nice. So they're backing up, which is interesting. It's like they kind of know that they don't have a chance here, so they're just going to back up. Libero, let's have a look at what Libero is doing on the main. Gets saved by the Baptiste immortality. NYXL are just getting completely dominated by Chengdu Hunters. Let's have a look at this Baptiste player. What's the optimal position for his ultimate? Does he even need to use it? It's like NYXL are just giving up now. Irissa just tries to walk up, has no support from the team. NYXL are just completely lost. And they get 4-0'd. So that's how it happened. And it was interesting. In the next couple of videos, I'm going to be focusing more on Doomfist in particular, and seeing how the Overwatch League players play him. Which maybe, hopefully, it'll be a good learning experience both for me and for anyone who's interested in learning how the pros play him. So I will see anyone who wants to watch that. I'll be streaming it, and I'll probably upload it to the YouTube as well. So stay tuned.